What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kidae, and today we're eating at Coqueta. Coqueta is a Michelin Guide contemporary Spanish restaurant located in the San Francisco Pier, not far from the Ferry Building at the Embarcardero. You can get beautiful water views if you sit by the bar or patio, and it's been on my list of restaurants to check out for quite some time now. The restaurant's owner-chef is Michael Chiarello, who's also the owner of the famous Napa Valley Italian restaurant Bottega. He also owns a winery in Napa Valley called Chiarello Family Vineyards, and he's a regular on the Food Network and Cooking Channel. In 1985, he was named Chef of the Year by the Food and Wine magazine, just 3 years after graduating from the Culinary Institute of America. He opened Coqueta in 2013, and it's been so popular that he actually opened a second Coqueta in Yountville, Napa Valley, right next to his Italian restaurant Bottega. So today, I'm taking you on a first-person journey to experience what the buzz is all about. Let's get it! And we've arrived at the restaurant Coqueta. It's a beautiful night, and we're entering the restaurant, and you can see Coqueta. The interior design was really nice actually. It was a quiet weekday night, very conducive for the beautiful meal that we're about to have. The gin tonic was the first drink to come out, and look at how beautiful it is. You know, I think it's just one of these things where Spain and United Kingdom, these two countries really appreciate a good gin tonic. So you can see the amount of detail. Look at all the ingredients that went inside of this beautiful gin tonic. Next to the gin tonic, you see the porron of wine that's filling up the glass of wine. And naturally, as it's filling it up, it's aerating the wine so that it opens up beautifully. Alright, now take a look at this gin. Look at all the beautiful ingredients in there. You can see some flowers, you can see a pine leaf, you can see the juniper berries and the grapefruit. All very, very fresh ingredients. And when I took a whiff of this gin tonic, the ingredients in here, along with the actual sense of herbs and botanicals in the actual gin, made it across so nicely. Especially the pine. The pine was the scent that really made this drink beautiful. It may well be one of the best gin tonics I've had in my life. And finally, the food has come out. The charcuterie boards has jamón ibérico de bellota, which is the highest class of jamón you can get. It's jamón made from pig that was fed acorns, and it has a very unique, distinctive aroma due to it. And the queso manchego, this manchego cheese. So this manchego cheese is made from sheep's milk. And the manchego cheese and the jamón ibérico de bellota are the two best aperitivos that you can get in the world. These chips are Spanish tortas, which had a really nice anise smell to it. These were some nuts that were slightly glazed to make them sweet. And this was fig paste in a sense, and they were not too sweet, but a perfect aperitif. And look at the jamón. I mean, you could tell the jamón was freshly cut. I'd like to see a little bit more oil on it. The ones in Spain have crazy oil on top. But nonetheless, I'm very happy with the look of this board. Alright, so first I'm starting off with the queso manchego. I mean, the queso manchego was still a bit young. It wasn't aged for a long time, but it was still a very rich and good queso manchego. And I have to pair it with this tempranillo wine that I got. I mean, I can't have jamón or queso manchego without pairing it with wine. You might as well just not give me the food because it's going to be so painful. The wine that I'm having is from Bottega Numancia. On the menu it says Numancia, but it's actually Numancia. And it's a tempranillo from a region called Toro. And this region is west of Ribera del Duero. So Spain's two most famous wine region is Rioja, and to the west of it, there's Ribera del Duero. But if you go a little bit even further west, closer to Portugal, then there's a small town called Toro, where they make beautiful wines. And this wine is made from Tempranillo, which is Spain's #1 most famous grape varietal. But in this region, they call it Tinta de Toro. Same varietal, different name. And it is beautiful. It's pairing perfectly with the jamón and queso. Next, I'm trying the torta. And you know, the torta is something, even when I lived in Spain, I would have it once in a while. But the taste of anise is something that you really have to grow into. And I'm telling you, Europeans and their love for anise always amazes me. I mean, they put it in all sorts of foods and they somehow make it work. But what I'm really here for is the jamon. I mean, the jamon is something that I think as a single piece of food without any type of cooking done to it, it's probably the most delicious piece of food in the world. I mean, really, does it get better than this? Now, they did have jamon serrano in the menu as well, but hell no, there's absolutely no way that I'm getting jamon serrano when I see jamon iberico on the menu. They're different breeds of pork, and they taste totally different. So do yourself a favor and bless your soul with the jamon iberico de bellota when you see it on the menu. Jamon iberico is the breed, to be precise, and the de bellota part at the end is when they feed that pork acorn at the latest stages of their life. And what happens is when the pork only gets fed acorn, it absorbs a very high percentage of oleic acid. And so due to this fat content, it develops this really rich flavor that is richer and more delicious than any other meat pound for pound in the entire world. I mean, the nuts and the fig paste were also pretty good. I'm not complaining, but do not let them take your eyes away from the true prize. Keep your eyes on the jamon iberico. Yep, that shit is good. So we kept digging into this amazing charcuterie board, and as our minds were just bewildered by the beautiful taste of the jamon, took a sip of the gin, and next came the next appetizer of the evening, the croquetas, which are croquettes in English, I think. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing to these chicken English pea croquettes, but they are, again, one of the best croquettes that I've ever laid my mouth on. I mean, just the savoriness and the crunch on the outside. They say that they use chicharron, which is pig skin, and they use that somehow in the outer coating, but the crunch on the outside and the inside just melts in your mouth. This is a piece of artwork, and it should be regarded as such when you put it in your mouth. Oh, and please don't forget the wine. And once again, this shit is amazing. I mean, bravo to this cooking team for creating such beautiful croquetas. I think the name of the restaurant probably comes from croquetas, but they took the R out and they're calling it coquetas, which is like croquettes but cockets. Anyways, and as we finished up this dish of magnificent croquettes, came the final main dish of the evening, pluma, which is an Iberico bellota shoulder loin. Again, these pork were acorn fed, hearth grilled, on fire, and served with honey chili glaze and petit nasturtium leaves. Now, as you can see from this beautiful plate laid in front of us, the meat was grilled on point. I mean, each piece of this meat, you could tell, contained the exact amount of juices while still being minimally cooked, but still expressing the full flavor of this Iberico bellota pork. Okay, I'm going in. So I get this piece, right? Take it away from the other piece. And as I look at this, I'm thinking, holy shit, this is going to be good. I dip in a little piece of salt, not too much. And as I taste this, I think that it's a very different taste from the jamon iberico de bellota that was right next to it on that board over there, but still contains the same level of just pure richness. Oh, and check what my wife does. She knows that I'm gonna need some wine for this to pair with this beautiful meat, and so she's just re-upping me on the wine. I mean, If this is not heaven right here, I don't know. So cheers to everyone watching. And as I'm drinking, what does my wife do? She goes in for her kill. And now I'm thinking, wait, was the wine just a distraction to get me away from this wonderful food? But you know what? Who cares? I got my gin and tonic. And that's really all I need at this moment to make things even more perfect. I mean, come on. Look at this beautiful piece of artwork. So we kept continuing to enjoy this beautiful feast laid before us. Oh, and don't forget the jamon. And as we were getting to the end of it, we realized that they gave us some extra honey chili glaze sauce. And so we tried pouring that over the meat a little bit and had it like that. But honestly, my opinion is that that's not even necessary. The meat is so good on its own. Stay away from extra sauce and just enjoy it how it is, as God meant it to be. And just as we're getting done with this main dish, boom, comes the patatas bravas. Freshly dug, lightly smoked, crispy potatoes with salsa brava and garlic aioli. And you know, when you have a good dish of protein, you really do need that carbohydrate to finish you off and send you to heaven. In Korea, where I'm from, after every single protein dish, you need to have rice. And it's the same exact thing here. With the pork shoulder loin, we needed the patatas bravas to really give this the proper ending that it deserves. And so I dipped one of the patatas in the salsa brava and I tried this crispy potato. You can see that it's crispy, freshly baked with the garlic aioli, and it was good. The salsa brava, I think, could have been just a little bit more stronger, a bit more sherry vinegar, a bit more salty, you know, just a bit more flavor. But nonetheless, it hit the spot and it gave me the hit of carbohydrate that I very much needed with this meat. And you'll see for yourself that at the rate that we finished these patatas bravas, really, there was really nothing much to complain about. They were good. And as our meal was coming to an end, just like this beautiful gin and tonic, it was finally time for dessert. We ordered a manchego cheesecake, which is a cheesecake made from manchego cheese with a dulce shell and some caramel popcorns on the side. So cheers! The dessert was not overly sweet, which is kind of what I wanted. The cheesecake didn't have too strong of a manchego cheese flavor, which is also kind of what I wanted. And the dulce de leche shell, well, I mean, that shit was just really good. And overall, it just gave a nice little touch of sweetness in the mouth, putting a smile on both of our faces, and leaving us with nothing more than praises for this restaurant. I think I'll definitely be back to this restaurant. In my books, it has been one of the great meals in this SF Bay Area so far, and I'm happy to have shared this food journey with you. All in all, today's meal was $187 total for the two of us, and we were really happy with today's meal. We left the restaurant knowing that there is a Spanish restaurant in the San Francisco Bay Area that is serving up some amazing food. It brought me back memories to when I was living in Madrid and all the wonderful, amazing food that Spain has to offer. Alright, so that was the Coqueta experience. And I gotta say, I really like that meal. The jamón ibérico, the queso manchego, the croquetas, the meat, the dessert were all on point. The restaurant has a 4.4 rating on Google and a 4.0 rating on Yelp. But me personally, I'll rate this restaurant a crazy high 4.8. Because I live by the rule, show respect where respect due. Question of the day, where did you have the best jamón ever? Let me know. If you like this video, make sure to press like and subscribe and hit that alarm button so you get notifications for future videos. And leave me a comment on future restaurants that you want me to hit up. And, as always, drink a lot of wine and enjoy life. Peace.
Yeah. You better ask about me. Fucking me later. Yeah, yeah. 내 이름은 알아 뭐의 기억도 못 하면서 랩 전능하듯 욕하고 줘 간에 침에 걸린 놈들 뒤집으러 온 맺히고 인 샷 gonna tag